I made it known in the last Survivor Series review that I thought 2006 was a complete piece of shit of the show. There's just really a lot of redeeming qualities. Not at all. Survivor Series 2007 was a little different. I thought it was a much better show, especially compared to 2006, and probably overall a little bit better than 2005. Now, I will say this is that the beginning portion of the show wasn't exactly all that much. I mean, you had Punk versus Morrison and Miz for the ECW Championship, and three guys, of course, that had no ties to the old ECW, battling it out over the WWE CW title, if you will. Could have been longer. Could have been longer. Nice showcase for these three guys that at the time you thought were going to be big future players potentially in the WWE, or especially at least in the case of CM Punk and John Morrison. Maybe you didn't envision it so much with The Miz. I thought this match could have been more, and I thought this match could have went longer. It was a little disappointing when I went back and watched it. You had a 10-diva tag that was what it was, and pretty much forget about it. You had the obligatory stupid Survivor Series match. In this case, it was Great Khali versus Hornswoggle at a time where they were pushing a midget that was walking around like a leprechaun more than 95% of the roster because this is Vince McMahon's illegitimate bastard child. That's what the people want to see. Some tough love to Hornswoggle. Oh, Christ. This is just bad. Dumb. Waste of fucking time. The tag title match with Cade and Murdoch versus Holly and Rhodes, again, was okay. But again, this is a match that could have used a little more time. Just a little bit more time. But this card is pretty much primarily carried by three matches. That is the major traditional Survivor Series tag match and then the two world title matches. I'll start off with the tag match first. I talked about in Survivor Series 2006 that it really pissed me off that you had Michaels and Triple H and their entire team go over the Rated RKO entire team, like everybody survived, and it was Shawn and Triple H that got the last two eliminations. Well, here you go. It's Survivor Series 2007. In a lot of ways, it's the same old type of bullshit. Now, granted, it didn't involve Shawn Michaels in this match, but it still did involve Triple H. You've got Hunter, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, and Kane on one team, and then you've got Umaga's team on the other side, and it's 4-on-5. Granted, you've got God, so maybe the other team is automatically at a handicap no matter what, but it's 4-on-5. And not only was it 4-on-5, you had Triple H eliminate three people from the other team. You gave Jeff Hardy the ultimate victory here, the last elimination, and it was him and Triple H that reigned supreme as the ultimate, sole survivors. But it's just, again, that Triple H treatment of, did he really need to eliminate three people here? Did he really need to be booked in such a dominant fashion here? Was this really fucking necessary? It was like kind of, again, with Jeff Hardy. I think about when Hardy won the title, and it was freaking him and Edge and Triple H, and I think it was one of those things where Hardy hit the fucking swanton, but then Triple H rolls out of the way so that way Hardy can pin Edge, knowing damn good and well that Triple H didn't want to do the right thing and put over Jeff Hardy himself. He wanted to make sure that Edge was the one that had to fucking do it. It was just dumb. It's just trash. And looking back on this type of shit, it's kind of trash. But the match was all right. So I can put up with that portion of it. It's that type of shit that really aggravates me. But what didn't aggravate me was the WWE Championship match between Orton and Michaels. Now, I like the fact that there were two stipulations on this match, and each one was a hindrance to the other. If Orton got DQ'd, he loses the title. Shawn Michaels is banned from using sweet chin music. So this is a way to actually tell a story with both individuals, both having something on the line, both having, a great strength of theirs being taken away from him. Orton can't get himself disqualified or he loses the belt. Shawn Michaels can't use his signature finishing maneuver, sweet chin music. And I thought these two had really good chemistry in the ring, and this was a pretty damn good title match. I would sit there and say that I was almost disappointed this match didn't go longer. My thing, though, at this time was in 2007 in particular, I think as they were transitioning kind of away from the legend killer Randy Orton, this is really when I found Orton unbearable. He was just flat out fucking bad. You know, you bring back Jericho in 2007, and he's talking about this shit with Orton, and so much of it was this true, his childbearing hips and his boring, monotonous, monotone, robotic voice promos. This is perhaps one of those 2 or 3 times where I found Orton the most especially boring out of his entire boring body of work of his WWE career, frankly. He was flat out fucking boring to me. Like, part of the reason I really didn't care about this company in 2007 was not only the Cena factor, but it was also the Orton factor. This was just bad. Now, granted, at Survivor Series 2007, Cena was gone, he was injured, but still, you had Orton. He was just so bore the brakes off of me bad at that time. But, like I said, this match between him and Shawn Michaels was pretty good, and it told a legit story to where Orton could still get what you would view as a quality victory without too much bullshit, but there was still an excuse to say, well, Shawn Michaels could have gotten him, and I don't have a problem with that. And then you had the Hell in a Cell for the World Heavyweight Championship between Batista and The Undertaker. It was a good match. I don't know if it was the best match that these two guys ever had, but I really like how this spun off and really began the feud that would play out in 2008 between Edge and The Undertaker. But this was the right match to main event. It was the appropriate match to main event. It had the spot on the card that it maybe deserved at WrestleMania 23, whereas the match between Batista and Undertaker, at the very worst, deserved to be much higher than third on the damn card. So I look at it, your 3 real kind of marquee featured matches, for the most part, delivered in their own ways and all accomplished something. So that I would classify as good. It makes it a good passable show. It allows you to overlook the stupid shit like Khali versus Hornswoggle, pointless 10 Diva tag matches, triple threat WWE CW title matches that are way too damn short, tag title matches that are only so-so with a so-so story heading into them. You know, it's that type of stuff where if the feature matches deliver, they're good, and they accomplish what they need to accomplish, then it makes up for a lot, especially with Survivor Series. So I like this show. Like I said, it was much, much better than 2006, and I'd put it, like I said, right in that ballpark of 2005, frankly.